a blogger climbed into a bear's den. Did he survive? The man lingered in the bear's enclosure and was brutally punished for it. In this video, I will talk about how dangerous bears are and whether people survive encounters with one of the strongest predators on the planet. Enjoy watching. Despite their enormous size and strength, most bears prefer to avoid encounters with humans. Unfortunately, there are exceptions. In January 2023, at a private zoo in the city of Andijan, Uzbekistan, a bear attacked a zookeeper during feeding. Every day, zookeepers take risks while caring for wild animals, feeding them, and cleaning their enclosures. This job requires not only physical strength but also a keen sense of danger, attentiveness, and caution. That day, the man stayed in the cage too long, which caught the bear's attention. You can only guess why he did this, out of curiosity or perhaps due to a sense of safety at work. Nevertheless, the mistake turned out to be fatal. The video of the incident shows how the enormous bear came out of its hiding place and blocked the exit from the enclosure. The man tried to run to the door, but it was too late. The predator pounced on him and pinned him down with all its weight. The agonizing minutes felt like an eternity until the zookeepers managed to drive the beast away from the lifeless body of the keeper. Did the keeper have any chance to avoid the attack? What feelings does this story evoke in you? Share your thoughts in the comments. Bears have such a keen sense of smell that they can detect the scent of prey from several kilometers away. Their sense of smell helps them navigate the forest well and find food in the most hard-to-reach places. Yuzhno-Sakhalinsk, Russia, October 9th, 2024. In one of the local fishing groups, a video surfaced that made many viewers empathize with the characters. It was still unknown who would come out as the winner in this encounter. Two fishermen were going about their business, unaware that they were being watched. Suddenly, a bear appeared and charged in their direction. The man kept his cool, even when the bear got close enough. One of the fishermen let his dog named Gulia off the leash. However, the beast paid no attention to her and continued to approach insistently. When it became clear that one dog wasn't enough, another furry friend was sent to help. The video operator reasonably noted, "Two dogs are better than one." The fisherman tried to keep the aggressive bear at a safe distance, not letting it get too close. The surprising thing in this situation is that the bear was clearly not showing aggression, but rather curiosity. Was it hungry, or was it just interested in the uninvited guests on its territory? A third friend came to help, a larger dog. Seeing the determination of the dogs, the bear realized that its efforts would be in vain. It turned around and slowly walked back into the depths of the forest, casting one last glance at the fisherman. After this incident, I concluded that you shouldn't go into the woods without a dog. What do you think? Did you know that bears have an incredible memory? Especially when it comes to food. It was this craving for a treat that caused the incident at the zoo in Thailand in August 2017. A tourist decided to treat the bear with a piece of sausage. It seemed so simple to just take it and give the animal a snack. However, for the man, this innocent action turned into irreversible consequences. The man didn't even notice how he ended up inside the enclosure. The animal lunged at him, instantly dragging him over the fence. Attempts by people to drive the bear away with long poles were unsuccessful. The man who became the victim couldn't defend himself. He simply surrendered to the predator's claws. The situation resembled scenes from a horror movie, but it was reality. The staff managed to get inside and, risking their lives, freed the victim. The thoughtless action of one person forced others to risk their lives. Feeding wild animals by hand can be deadly dangerous. Bears, by getting used to food from people, lose their fear of humans and turn into real beggars. And if a predator is hungry, then aggression and attacks can be expected. wild nature and its inhabitants must have their boundaries. And every action, even the most harmless at first glance, can lead to disaster. Next, you'll encounter another equally tragic case of a bear attack. Are you ready? It turns out that a bear that can't fall asleep in winter becomes a deadly predator. Such a bear is called a wandering bear normally. As the cold sets in, brown bears hibernate. But if it hasn't eaten enough by winter or is awakened too early, the animal becomes a wandering bear. This is a doomed animal that cannot find food and is forced to hunt anything that moves, including humans. A wandering bear is not afraid to take risks and resorts to extreme measures, as it is on the brink of hunger and death. In winter, such encounters with bears turn into real nightmares, especially for those who work or travel in remote areas. Wandering bears are incredibly dangerous, as they are not just looking for prey, they are willing to do anything for survival. One such tragic case was the attack of a wandering bear on workers at the Chainedin field in Yakutia, Russia, on November 10, 2023. The men were standing in a smoking area when the bear attacked them. The wandering bear, having sneaked through the fence, attacked a mechanic who was completely unaware. Witnesses used fire extinguishers to save their friend. They succeeded. But in the next moment, the beast attacked another person. On that day, 2 men were attacked by a bear. The hunter, called to the scene, was only able to eliminate the predator 20 minutes later. It was already too late for the 2 victims. They were left with serious wounds to their heads and limbs. Hungry predators become very dangerous. What do you think of the story? Imagine a bear protecting its cubs. It can attack without warning. In the wild, such behavior is not uncommon, especially when a female believes her offspring are in danger. Male brown bears often kill cubs so that the female is ready to breed again sooner. Bears will do anything to protect their young. Sometimes they even lead the cubs to human habitats, trying to create a sort of living shield from human presence. But for humans, such encounters can be deadly. I'll tell you how dangerous such an encounter can be. On October 1st, 2022, a Japanese climber was scaling Mount Futego when he was suddenly attacked by a bear. It all happened in an instant. A brown bear jumped out of the bushes and charged at the person. The climber was lucky and fought off the beast, desperately screaming and defending himself with his hands. The bear retreated after several failed attacks. At the moment of the attack, there was a cub near the bear, which explains the female's aggressive behavior. The attacker was protecting her cub, and that was her primary instinct. Fortunately, the person survived, although he sustained scratches and a wrist sprain. He was able to reach the summit and continued his descent, coming away with minor injuries and fear. I'm sorry I intruded on the bear's territory, but when I was attacked, I had to defend myself. The climber captioned the video on social media. It was truly a lucky incident. Isn't that right? The next hero in our video was less fortunate. Doctors even feared that the bear's mangled face might not be saved. Let's see how it all happened. Bears rarely attack humans, but when they are protecting their cubs, the situation can change in an instant. Such a drama unfolded on September 18, 2023, in the Krasnoyarsk region of Russia. Viktor Selagiev, a 43-year-old resident of the village of Verkhnuzhenskoye, went into the forest to gather cedar cones. He was with 5 other people, but at some point, he decided to step away from the group, which turned out to be a fatal mistake. The bear appeared suddenly. Viktor heard a rustle, looked up, and right in front of him was a huge gray-brown beast. 3 meters was all that separated them. At first, the bear snorted, then it growled, and the attack began. Viktor tried to run, darting between the trees, but the beast was faster. The bear's paw tripped him, its claws sank into his thigh, his ribs cracked, and a horrific struggle for life began. Viktor fought back, but the bear tore his arm in 3 places and went for his face. However, after 5 minutes, the beast unexpectedly stopped the attack and left. The attack left Victor with a shattered face, a torn upper jaw, and serious head injuries. Recovery required several major surgeries, but the most important thing is that he survived. What do you think allowed the man to stay alive? Bears can be both intimidating predators and incredibly tolerant. Let's take a look at this guy who decided to climb into a predator's den while it was home. In September 2024, Serbian blogger Stefan Yankovic decided to explore an unfamiliar pit in the woods and ended up visiting a brown bear. When the owner returned home, he fortunately did not show aggression, but simply sniffed Stefan and allowed him to escape. After getting out, the guy decided to climb a tree and wait there until the predator left. However, a couple more bears approached the tree, apparently friends of the owner, who were also curious to meet the uninvited guest. Sitting high on a branch, Stefan filmed the events. His reactions, ranging from fear to surprise, created an atmosphere of tense anticipation. Subscribers in the comments also didn't hide their excitement. Dude, are you alive? We hope you're okay. Although there were those who doubted the reality of what was happening and suggested that the bears were tame, living on Mount Osran. This story raises many questions. Regardless, encounters with bears always carry risks. And repeating the reckless actions of bloggers isn't worth your life. Fortunately, the guy managed to avoid tragedy. But what was it? Reckless bravery or incredible luck? Grizzly bears are among the most dangerous predators on the planet. These giants can weigh up to 450 kilograms and reach heights of up to 2.5 meters. Grizzlies and other bear species usually try to avoid humans, but every year there are about 44 attacks on people, and many of these encounters end tragically. In October 2016, in the state of Montana, USA, a hunter named Todd Orr became the victim of 2 grizzly bear attacks. He was hunting deer in the Madison Valley. Todd knew that many bears lived in the area, and to avoid becoming an unexpected victim, he loudly called out, "Hey, bears!" every 30 seconds, trying to alert the predators to his presence. However, when he stepped out into an open meadow, he noticed several female grizzlies with cubs. He shouted again, hoping the mother bears would leave, but one of them wasn't scared and attacked him. Each bite felt like a sledgehammer with teeth, he recalled. After the first attack, the mother bear disappeared. Gathering his strength, Todd tried to reach his truck, but he didn't make it. She returned and attacked him again. The second attack was even more terrifying. The mother bear broke his arm, biting down to the bone, and struck him on the head. For some unknown reason, the bear lost interest and left Todd alive. The man managed to reach the nearest ranch, where he received help and an ambulance was called. Todd survived. But for the next hero, the encounter with a grizzly turned out to be fatal. A couple who loved nature and walking their dogs set out on a 7-day hike, which turned out to be the last of their lives. On September 31st, 2023, in Banff National Park in southern Canada, they became victims of a grizzly bear. This park is home to grizzly bears. They are accustomed to people and are generally peaceful. Tourists, in turn, walk along designated trails and carry special bells to scare off wild animals. But this time, even with all the rules followed, a tragedy occurred. When the couple stopped for the night in the Red Deer River Valley, they were suddenly attacked by a bear. At that moment, they couldn't have imagined that their evening would end like this. When rescuers arrived at the scene, they found the bodies of the man and woman, along with their loyal companion. Family members described the deceased as very cautious people who always followed bear protocols and carried special bells. After the attack, park officials decided to euthanize the aggressive bear to prevent similar tragedies in the future. Can bear attacks on humans be prevented at all? Share your thoughts in the comments. Friends, in this video you saw how dangerous encounters with bears can be. Even though bears usually avoid people, unexpected situations can sometimes arise that lead to serious injuries or fatalities. However, bears are a part of nature, a part of the animal world that humans must protect and learn to live in harmony with the wild. It is also necessary to follow safety precautions and not approach areas where predators are present. There is still so much interesting stuff in the world. What do we want to talk about? And we have great news. We are looking for talented people who can help us create amazing videos. If you can edit, voiceover videos in different languages, or write creative scripts, we would love to work with you. Message our Telegram bot. The link is in the description. That's all for now. Don't forget to like. Also, please share which bear attack story you found the scariest. Or maybe you've encountered a bear yourself.